What's up guys, we're about to start an amazing adventure here in Darwin, sailing with coral expeditions all the way up through West Papua, Palau and Micronesia. It's going to be a mind-blowing expedition. We cannot wait to show you what we're about to get up to.
We are staying on the 4th deck, we're in 413, and you guys are going to see the room at the same time as us because we haven't seen it yet. So come on in. Oh, wow! It's big.
It's huge. Look how big this bathroom is. The Coral Geographer is Coral Expedition's newest luxury vessel and our home for the next 2 weeks. We have a full ship review on the channel, but for now it's time to start the adventure. We kicked things off with a safety briefing, then left Darwin port. It's a 2-day journey across the Timor Sea to get to Indonesia. There was a welcome party out on deck with free-flowing champagne and a whole lot of laughs as we got to know our new shipmates. With the sun setting over the ocean, it was a perfect way to wrap up day one. Guys, it is our first full day at sea as we motor along towards Indonesia, and we started the day absolutely beautifully with a bit of yoga and stretching up on the top deck and of course a coffee. The weather is just perfect out there, the seas are calm, the weather is warm, and it's going to be a great day full of lectures, guest speakers, and learning all about the history and culture of Micronesia. Coral Expeditions operates under an open bridge policy, so in the morning we headed into the bridge for a full tour of how the officers pilot the ship. Then, after some educational sessions with the expedition team, including a full photography workshop by us, we enjoyed a fantastic wine tasting event held by Aaron, the chief purser. The following day we got all kitted out in our snorkeling and dive gear for all the water activities we have coming up before we finally arrived in eastern Indonesia. We have just made it to the village of Tual, and we are the very first expedition ship or a large group of tourists to ever come to the village. The excitement levels are massive. The entire village has come out to see what is going on and to meet all the tourists that are coming through. There is music, there are banners everywhere, everyone's dressed up in their traditional clothing. It's just absolutely beautiful. Everywhere we go, people are grabbing us and saying hello, selamat pagi, taking the photos with us. It's just beautiful. Sadly, it's time for us to leave. It has been a truly incredible experience coming to the village.
We cannot thank them enough. They are so welcoming, and it's been amazing.
It is a beautiful day today, and we have woken up just outside of Banda Neira in Indonesia. Banda Neira is this island with a huge volcano just off in the distance there. We're going to get off the ship and go snorkeling and diving in the morning, and then we have some pretty fun, exciting cultural activities planned for the afternoon. But let's go see what's happening in Banda Neira. As we came into the island, some locals came out in their kora canoes and raced us into port. It's an old tradition, and it was incredible to watch them scream and paddle alongside our ship. After a fantastic morning snorkeling and scuba diving around the island, we've come to the village on Banda Neira to do a little bit of a town tour. This place used to be the main hub of nutmeg trade way back during the days of the spice era. So we're going to wander around, we're going to check out the village, learn a little bit about the history here, and then we're going to finish up at the Belgica Fort for sunset drinks, which is going to be absolutely spectacular.
Come to one of the local hotels, and this is where you do the cooking class, but also the refreshment stop when you're doing the town walking tour. I'm trying one of the local pancakes here. It's got some coconut mix inside, and it is so delicious. There is so many options for the foods. This one is delicious, sweet.
We've come up to a nutmeg plantation now right next to Fort Belgica here in Banda Neira, and we're actually getting to sample a little bit of nutmeg that the local guides are harvesting straight from the tree.
So we are checking out nutmeg. Now, once you break open the seed, you think, oh wow, this is the nutmeg, but it's actually not. This is the maize on top of there. The red one is the sweeter. It's using Coca-Cola, lollies, different kinds of things like that. And then inside that shell, after the maize, is the nutmeg. So there's a couple of layers before you get to the nutmeg seed.
This is used for the tea. Yeah?
Oh, delicious. This is cinnamon.
This, you know, the band of people use about the cooking for this one and this one also.
And right now we're at the top of Fort Belgica and the hotel crew have come all the way up here, drinks in hand, and we are having some sunset beverages. Thank you so much, guys.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We didn't know what to expect when we came up to Fort Belgica for sunset, but I tell you what, the Coral Expeditions crew put on an absolute banger of an experience for us. Sunset drinks up here were amazing, and the traditional dancing was absolutely gorgeous. We had an amazing time up here. The backdrop, of course, with the volcano here at Banda Neira, does not get any better than that. But now it's time to pack on up, head back to the ship, have a nice, relaxing dinner, and do it all again tomorrow in a new location. We woke up to a magical morning here in Indonesia and we are sailing into Raja Ampat, the fabled limestone cast of West Papua, filled with the best snorkeling and scuba diving on the planet, and we have gotten so lucky with the weather this morning. Welcome to Misool. The water here is absolutely pristine, but before we go for a snorkel, we're actually going to climb up that big mountain right there. Haven't actually kept track of how many steps we're doing. Tell you what, it's hot and humid, but it's going to be worth it for the view. Oh. What do you think, Leash?
It's so beautiful, and we're not up the top yet.
Should we go up the top? After enjoying the epic views from the top of the peak, we jumped into the Explorers to cruise around the bays of Misool. There was a lot more to see than just the stunning islands. We also came across some ancient indigenous rock art before the Coral Expeditions crew pulled up to a new spot that nobody on board had ever snorkeled before. In the sense of adventure, we kitted up and dove in to see what we could find underwater. We've had the most incredible day here at Misool in Raja Ampat. Snorkeling this morning, hiking up to that viewpoint, and then the sun popped out just in time for us to get another snorkel in and a dive at a place that no one in Coral Expeditions had actually been to before, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And just to top everything off, the crew here have put on a little bit of an afternoon drink session out on the Vista deck with this incredible landscape of Raja Ampat behind us. It does not get any better than this. Okay, this is pretty special. We've jumped off the Coral Geographer and we've cruised on down to this deserted little beach here in Wayag, Raja Ampat, and we're just gonna hang out here for the afternoon. As you can see, we have some kayaks, there's some incredible water right here to go snorkeling, and there is a hike up to a viewpoint as well. We have all afternoon to just chill in this magical location. Explorer is now just leaving us, that's it. See you later, guys. Okay, I'm gonna hike up to the top of the mountain and Alicia is gonna enjoy some snorkeling. Wild, wild. Right when we thought the trip couldn't get any better, the Coral Expeditions crew had collected us from the first beach and then navigated out to another private island where we are having sunset drinks with canopies, champagne, non-alcoholic wine, beers right here on the beach. Just what a way to end our perfect day here in Wayag in Raja Ampat. These guys just keep on over-delivering. It is absolutely spectacular. It is our last day here in Indonesia with Coral Expeditions, and we have made it to the largest city in West Papua, Sorong, for a very special cultural experience to see us off. We're going to be visiting the Moi Tribe and learn all about their history and culture. The Moi Tribe are an indigenous people from the rainforests of West Papua, and they've been living off the land for generations. They are masters of survival and put sustainability and respecting their environment as their highest priority. We spent some time with the Moi Tribe learning about their traditional ways of hunting and gathering, trying their local food and being mesmerised by their singing and dancing. That was an incredible experience here with the Moi Tribe in Sorong. The guests with Coral Expeditions had a fantastic time, and pretty sure we all got some great shots out of it as well. The Moi Tribe really put on an epic show for us, the dancing, the music, and of course that beautiful headdress. But now it is time for us to leave Indonesia, which is a bit of a shame, but that doesn't mean that the trip is over. We're going to be navigating out of West Papua now, heading north to Palau. So stay tuned, we have some great things coming up. We are now approaching the tiny little island nation of Palau, and to enter the country we have to navigate through a very, very narrow passage flanked by very shallow coral reef on either side of us and enter the lagoon. It's a very difficult channel we have to get through, so the pilots from the country are actually going to come and meet our ship and guide us through. And very cool thing is that the bridge is actually open, so we can sit in there and watch as the captain and his crew navigate into Palau. And we have now made it to Palau, a new country for us, and we are absolutely buzzing to have got off the Coral Geographer, and now we're going to be hanging out here for the afternoon and the evening, enjoying some traditional dancing at the Palau Pacific Resort. We just got to the resort and they are giving us some mocktails, or optionally you can also throw a shot of rum in your mocktail, make it into a cocktail. A very, very nice Palau welcome, which we're very excited about.
And we learned how to say thank you.
Thank you in Palau is sulang, which is a beautiful way to say thank you. I love it.
What you see now, the women wearing their grass skirts, and the grass skirts also determine from which clan you are. The collars are normally kind of, each clan has its collars, and so I think without further ado, we want to start. Thank you very much, ladies from the Nama Young dancers. Thank you.
Today's a bit of a choose your own adventure day here in Palau, and all the passengers are kind of jetting off and doing a whole bunch of different activities that you can choose from, either organised through Coral Expeditions or just heading to town and exploring on your own. Personally, I'm going scuba diving. I've got 2 tank dives today, which is going to be very exciting. Alicia's going out for a bit of a boat cruise and then snorkeling in the afternoon. A lot of the other guests are kind of just heading to the resort and hanging out or taking shuttles into town. I'm pretty amped for the diving. Alicia's really amped for the snorkeling. Let's go see what we can find under the water in Palau. Our time in Palau has sadly come to an end, and we had an amazing time here. It was short, but well worth it. Scuba diving was epic. The snorkeling and the harbour cruise that Alicia did was really phenomenal, as you guys can see. Now we are cruising on up to Yap in Micronesia. Got a full sea day ahead of us before we actually arrive to this new country for us. Full of presentations and a bit more chill time on the ship before we finish our Coral Expeditions adventure with a bang.
Welcome to Micronesia, another country Jared and I have not been to. We arrived this morning to Yap and we are going to be exploring today. First up this morning, we're going to be doing a snorkel, and then this afternoon we're going to be exploring the town, and we're going to learn about something very special.
We spent the morning snorkeling at the Coral Garden in the main harbour of Yap, and even though it's literally right next to the boatyard, the coral and marine life were healthy and abundant. For the afternoon, we jumped on a bus and went on a bit of an island tour. In Micronesia, their culture is their identity, and we were lucky enough to catch a fantastic traditional dancing performance from some of the local kids. One of the most fascinating traditions in Yap is the use of stone money or rice stones as currency. Dating back to around 500 AD, Yapese sailors carved huge limestone discs in Palau, 400 kilometers away, and brought them back by canoe. The larger the stone and the harder the journey, the more valuable it became. People used them to buy land, livestock, or even in marriage. Instead of moving them, ownership was passed down verbally, and today's stone money is still used symbolically, alongside shell money, which holds value based on its rarity and beauty. For today's adventure with Coral Expeditions, we have come up to the Ulithi Atoll, not too far from Yap in the Federated States of Micronesia, and we are exploring Mogmog Island. We've been welcomed here by the chiefs of the village. The captain and our local fixer had to come here and ask for permission to come ashore, and they granted it to us, and we are now exploring the tiny little village of only 100 people. Now, it's a very traditional island, and there are a lot of cultural protocols that we need to follow, such as women having to cover their knees, and one of the big ones is that if we are granted permission to take photos or video of any of the locals here, they have asked us not to share anything on social media. So even though we are going to take photos if they allow us to, we're not going to have anything in the video or up on our website. Of course, we're going to respect their beliefs and their requests and just enjoy this fascinating island. Mogmog Island is the cultural centre of Ulithi Atoll, and here the village chiefs are still in charge of absolutely everything. The island was used by the US Navy during World War II, but after that the island went back to its traditional way of life, relying on fishing and communal living. There's a school and a church on the island, a small solar farm for powering lights, and all their fresh water comes from rain. The remoteness of Ulithi Atoll means the locals very rarely get tourists, so it's a privilege to be able to visit here. It's our last day on the incredible Micronesia Mariner trip with Coral Expeditions, and we're finishing up here in Micronesia on a tiny little place called Sorol Atoll. It is spectacular. Tiny little isolated coral atolls with big palm trees growing out of the beaches here, just scattered across this crystal clear turquoise waters, and we have the entire day to just basically bounce around between a couple of the deserted islands here, snorkeling and diving and just hanging out on the beaches here. What a way to end this wild trip here with Coral Expeditions.
Last snorkel.
Alright, everyone in? Alright, 3, 2, 1, 3!
It is the last night and we're grabbing a champagne to watch the beautiful presentation that Naomi, the photographer on this trip, as well as Jared and I have put together with all these random photos from the whole journey.
We have Olivia, Tony, Sarah, Avanet, and Jazz.
We're getting off now. It's the end of our tour. We are so sad. You actually get to know all the staff really well as well. So it's like you're leaving friends. But hopefully we will see them again one day. And we've met new friends among the guests as well. It's just been absolutely amazing. Highly recommend.
We're back in Yap in the Federated States of Micronesia, which means our trip with Coral Expeditions has sadly come to an end. I'll tell you what, it was absolutely incredible. If you're looking for an adventure that includes culture, water activities, history, and some of the most beautiful scenery you're ever going to see, make sure you check out this Micronesia Mariner adventure with Coral Expeditions. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up and a comment below. Let us know if you would book this kind of trip or if you are interested in traveling on board an expedition to some of these regions as well. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and we'll keep bringing out videos of our adventures as we travel around the world. Thanks very much for watching and we'll see you on the next one.